Welcome back to Strictly's Insider, where we're going to be talking about Halloween week. Tyler and Dianne and Ellie and Johannes were top of the leaderboard with their show-stopping routines, while Tony and Katia brought their A game and joined the 30 Club. But sadly, we had to say goodbye to James and Amy after they found themselves in the dreaded dance-off. Well, thank you so much for joining us again, guys, for Strictly Insider. So I guess let's get straight to it. What did you think of the dance-off, and do you think the right person went home?
I see that there's lots of stuff about the dance-off because Fleur made a couple of mistakes that people were saying, oh, Fleur should have gone home. I put on my Twitter that she could have made another 10 mistakes and still been better. I know that might sound horrible, but she's in a different league to James. I love both of them as people, as individuals. He seems like a great guy too. But if you're just judging the dancing, she's a better dancer. Yeah, she made a couple of mistakes, as did he. Maybe she made bigger mistakes. You could probably argue that. But her dancing was so much better. And
overall, she's a better dancer. So I do guess.
Yeah.
That's why they put her through.
Yeah, but even if you judge it purely on the dance-off, she should have gone through. Like when we used to do professional competitions, we still made mistakes, but they don't necessarily penalise you for that. They're looking at the overall show, the overall package, and she's better.
How do you think next week Fleur can bounce back? Is there anything she can do that you think, any tips you would give her?
She just needs to understand that in the ballroom and Latin world, it's very different to the, hip hop. It's much more dancing. Subtleties. She needs to work on the subtleties, the femininity, to try and be soft and fluid and gooey, and not hitting everything, whack, whack, like that. Is because sometimes it can actually.
You gonna stop?
We're gonna. Come here, sit with Daddy.
What do you want? What do you want? What do I get you?
I want some puzzles.
Okay,
puzzles.
Go get a puzzle.
That's a good shout.
She'll be back in a minute. You know what? I really like Fleur, and when I initially saw her on the lineup, I actually said to Ola, she could win because she has that likability. She's actually a really likable person. But when she dances, because she has that hardness, which can come across a bit cocky, let's say. I know she's not, but when she dances, you don't have that softness, so you don't warm to it when you're watching it. That's the problem. And I still actually think she's actually a very good dancer. And if she can channel the energy into the right place, I still think she could turn it round, even at this, halfway stage. I do believe she could save this. But she really needs to work on the softness now.
You can see the potential there, can't you? I think everyone can see it.
Oh yeah. I mean, but I'm not gonna blame him, but I blame the routine a little bit. Like, for example, putting a twerk in the salsa. We don't twerk in salsa, and by putting that in there, someone should be, because it's his first year, should be saying to him, if you put twerking in the salsa, the people at home are not going to like it. And I know that obviously she comes from that background where she's a performer, she knows how to perform, but they really need to think about the public are so important. It's not just about the judges. You've got to get the public on your side, and at the moment she's not.
Hamza was great as well. I don't know how I'm going to do this interview.
She's so annoying. She's annoying. No. She gets it from me. I
know.
Dad. She gets it from me, and I apologise, but I have an annoying child. She's very annoying.
Right.
So Hamza
was amazing as well.
Hamza was great. I really enjoyed Hamza's tango.
I did. And you know what? He's the only person in the show that's driving in the ballroom. You know when people say you're not driving enough across the floor? People don't necessarily understand the technical reasons that they're not doing that. But he's doing it. He's doing it very well as well. They're actually a lot smaller than a lot of the other couples in the show. They're quite a petite couple. But he is a powerhouse. I'm telling you, that routine they did and the technique of the way he moved across the floor, I was blown away a little bit. Tyler and Dianne, for me personally, I wouldn't have given them the dance of the night because as much as I loved it, and it was probably the most entertaining performance, and if I went to a West End show, I mean, it was fantastic. It was that good. But at the end of the day, it was supposed to be a cha-cha, and there wasn't quite enough cha-cha content in it for me. I understand it was Halloween week and you can get away with it a little bit, but as the judges should still be picking up on that. I think Craig was the only one that mentioned it, actually, just said there wasn't enough cha-cha content. And I have to agree with him, but take that away, it was ridiculously good. Yeah. Like, really, he was insane. And I love the costume. I love their partnership. I mean, for us, we spoke about it, like Hamza and Tyler, and the partnerships they have with Dianne and Uvita, I think is absolutely brilliant. I think they're for me now at this stage. Yeah, I would say they're finalists.
Yeah,
yeah, they have to be.
Yeah,
yeah.
With Helen,
we like Helen as well.
She's still doing really well.
Yeah, she is doing really well.
Yeah, so we mustn't forget about her because sort of.
And also Halloween week, they were given a foxtrot, which doesn't have the same. Tango is very powerful. Cha-cha is really fun and everything. Foxtrot can be a little bit on the boring side, especially when you get a themed week.
Obviously, Molly and Carlos had the judges really split over whether they liked the dance or not. What did you think?
It was good. I liked the fact that they had the intensity.
The lifts were sort of a bit heavy.
And it felt a bit slow and tired.
And considering she's so young and so able to do it, I think you're extra critical on it because you just want it to be perfect.
Yeah, it was forgettable. Again, we've seen her come out and absolutely knock it out of the park. So again, she's very able, the same as Fleur, but they're not in the same league at the moment as Hamza and Tyler and Helen even.
Yeah. But I think you're right. We can see it within her, and I'm sure with a bit of time, and a bit of finessing in the routine, she'll definitely be able to pull it out the bag.
You're great.
Yeah.
You're great, but we're being ultra critical at this. We expect a lot from Molly. I wouldn't be as critical with someone like Tony, for example, the expectation levels are much lower because he's an older guy that's never danced before. So you don't expect as much. Although he came out, what a brilliant quick step.
I know. Well, yeah. Let's talk about him because his improvement has just been huge, hasn't it?
Huge. I mean, I honestly didn't expect, and that's testament to Katya as well. She's always able to get the best out of people that can't dance, and that for me is the sign of a great pro. Any of us can dance with someone that's got dance training. Yeah, you're just putting a routine together, but when you've actually got to knuckle down and teach them every little move, where to put their finger, where to put their head, position their body, it's much harder. And I think she's doing a fantastic job. And he is getting better. And I know there's a lot of, again, controversy over the fact that he's still in the show, but I think he deserves his place massively. Not only is he super entertaining,
I would say he had more improvement than some of the other people.
Yeah, when you think about the difference between like week 1 and week 2 to now
And that is what Strictly originally was about. And it has changed over the years, and I understand everything has to move forward, and the dancing has got better because they're getting more people in with dance training, which is great. But initially, the whole concept of it was teaching celebrities that have never danced before how to dance. And over the years, they've got more people in that could already dance.
So you say, if you back in the day, he probably would have done quite well in the competition.
I reckon back in the day, he would have probably won.
He's probably one of the better footballers we had.
He's just got, again, he's got that likability factor. You can see, as I said, he's a slightly more mature man. He's a bit of a geezer, ex-footballer, giving dancing a go. He's not worried about the sequins, the makeup. He's thrown himself in it, which is what we love.
And you can tell he's really trying week after week. The commitment is there.
Working hard,
and you can see it means something to him. When he goes out and does a good performance, you can see it's like he's just scored a goal. He's like elated. And if that week when he had a particularly bad performance and forgot the routine and everything, you could see how it actually affected him. So I love the fact that he's invested in the show.
And who do you think this week needs to kind of up their game? Who might be in trouble?
I'm a bit worried about Will, to be honest with you. I know Will is sort of there hanging on to it, but since the first week we haven't really, I fell in love with him and then I'm not loving it now. So I think he needs to be sort of careful because the good people are going out now. Look, Fleur being in bottom 2 with James going out. Now that the good one's going to start to, you know.
I mean, it is hard though because he came out. I'm going to eat it, thank you. Because he came out and did such an amazing performance week 1. I did say very early on, maybe that was his dance. Maybe that's going to be his best dance in the whole show. So every performance he comes out, you don't see that improvement from week 1, which is what people want to see. So I actually feel a bit sorry for him because he's still very good. And if he had started off not as good and then had that performance halfway through, that would have made him a contender. But at the moment, he's not a contender because Tyler has definitely taken over from him,
and Hamza,
and Hamza has as well,
yeah.
Which makes it interesting. Oh, thank you. That's a lot. Which makes it interesting though, because a lot of the years when we watch Strictly, you can kind of tell week 1 who's going to win. You know, it's or who's definitely going to be in the final. Where this year, I feel that there has been a few shifts, and I think there'll be more shifts as well. Thank you so much. Johannes and Ellie. When I was watching the beginning of their routine, I said to Ola, this could be like from a movie. It was that brilliant.
So the hair,
the way they were acting and everything. It was amazing.
And the set was so good as well.
And she did a great job, massively improved. The dance suited her. It's not necessarily a technical dance because it's couple's choice. I always frown upon it. But I did really enjoy that performance. Again, something I would want to go and see in the West End. But we have to say, I mean, Johannes, he stole the show, didn't he? It was a really good show compared to last week. It was probably the worst show in Strictly history. Go to this week, which was so much better.
James, don't hold back.
It's true. That's what everyone's thinking. It was rubbish last week.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, guys. Thanks so much for watching our latest Strictly Insider. Don't forget to like and subscribe and head over to helomagazine.com for more Strictly news, and we'll see you next week.